happy Tuesday. It is April 28, 2020, and we have our math story to work through. Let's read it together. The cafeteria has blank bowls of chili to serve. They served blank bowls. How many bowls do they have left? So let's fill in our numbers and let's get going. All right, so we start off with our first number. The cafeteria has 656 bowls. They served 238 bowls. How many bowls do they have now? So we look at this word served and we see have now, and we can tell that this operation for this story is going to be, that's right, we're going to subtract. So we had the cafeteria started with 656 bowls of chili to serve, but then they did serve 238. Now, how many bowls do they have? And so that's what we're looking for. We want to see how many they have left. So we notice that the word isn't in here for left, but we definitely can tell from how this is written that we want to know how many the cafeteria has now or has left, okay? All right, so let's look at our first strategy that you guys are probably very familiar with now. Is that direct modeling, but for organization, we're gonna use our hundreds, tens, and ones chart. So the first number I'm gonna make is how many they started with, 656. I do my squares for hundreds, so 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. My tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and my ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? And then it says that they served 238. So I am not joining, I'm taking away, or I'm subtracting. And so I'm going to take away, start with the 200 first. So I'm going to take away 100, 200, and then I'm going to take away 30 or 3 tens. So 10, 20, 30, and then I'm going to take away 8 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I ran out of ones. I'm not able to take away 8 ones, so what do? That's right, so I'm gonna regroup one of the tens and I'm gonna make them into 10 ones. So I like to put an X to show that I regrouped it and move it over to the ones place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now it's the same amount, it's just now in the ones place. So now I've taken away 6, I need to take away 8 total, so 2 more. So 7, 8, and now I need to count up how many I have in the ones, the tens, and the hundreds place. So in the ones, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 110, and I have 100, 200, 300, 400. So total, I have 418 bowls. To label that, I would write 418 bowls. All right, so that is the direct modeling, drawing it out, and using the hundreds, tens, and ones chart for help for organization. All right, we're gonna now look at that combining same units. All right, so let's do 600 plus 50 plus 6, 200 plus 30 plus 8. So we've got the expanded form of the numbers, and I am subtracting. Okay? So 600 minus 200, if you need help with that, you could always throw in your fingers and make them be hundreds. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. Take away 200, gives me 400. 50 minus 30, same thing, it can stand for tens. So 50 minus 30, 10, 20, 30, leaves me with 20. Or you could do, I know, 5 minus 3 is 2, so 50 minus 30 is 20. And then we fall into the 6 minus 8. Do you guys know what's gonna happen? We are gonna go into the negative. So I want you guys to think about this. I have 6, but I need to take away 8. Okay, I need to take away 8. So I know that I can take away 6, 5, 6, but I still have 2 left that I was not able to take away. So since I was not able to take that away, I'm in the negative 2. I still have 2 to take away. So I am negative 2 here, okay? Now, I'm joining back my hundreds, tens, and ones. That's why you're gonna see me add here. We're adding those hundreds, tens, and ones back together, but I will add a negative, which just means I'm taking it away, okay? But the reason I do that is because I'm adding back my hundreds, tens, and ones, and when we add a negative, it means I take it away. All right, so 400 plus 20 gets me to 420 plus negative 2. So remember, I'm adding a negative 2, but that means I take that 2 away. I still have to take it away. So 420 plus negative 2 gets me to 418. I had to take 2 away from that, and that got me to 418 bowls. Okay? So that is the combining same units. That does have you go into the negative. So understand that if you're still trying to understand negative, this may not be the best strategy for you. All right, and now we're gonna look at incrementing, okay? Remember, I'm not gonna change the first number, I'm not gonna expand it out, but I am gonna expand out the second number when I increment, okay? That's just how I increment. There's so many different ways to increment, to take away in chunks. It's taking away in chunks that make sense to you. And so your thinking may be a little bit different. It may be quicker, easier, however your thinking is. Just any way that you wanna increment, it's incrementing in chunks. If I do separate the numbers in hundreds, tens, and ones, I am doing more of combining same units. Sometimes parents, you may see your child have a variety. They may be doing part combining same units with part incrementing. So it's whatever makes sense to them and their thinking. All right, so let's look at, I'm gonna break up the 238 into first equaling 200 plus 30 plus 8, and then I'm gonna look at that and I'm gonna see how is it gonna make sense to increment for me. So I have the 656, all right, and I see this 6 here, and I know that if I can take away 6, I'll get to a friendly number. So I'm gonna break this 8 into equaling 6 plus 2, and I'm gonna go ahead and take away 6. So 656 minus 6 gets me to 650, okay? So here I see this 50, and I'm gonna notice that and come back to that in just a second. And I know that I can probably go ahead and take away the 200, okay? So let's see here. So if I do minus 200, that will get me to 450, okay? And then I have my 30, and that will get me to 420, and then I just have my 2 left to get me to 418. Okay, so again, I'm not gonna change anything. I'm just gonna look at my hundreds and not do anything with the 50. I was thinking maybe I could, but that's just kind of on the spot in chunks. You're just kind of looking to see, what makes the best sense and how I can easily and quickly break this up to be able to get to friendly numbers to do it fast. Remember, this kind of thinking happens kind of quick up here, and it takes a minute to think about how you're gonna do it on paper. But I always love seeing that you guys can push past and say, what did I do in my head? Can I slow down a minute and figure out each chunk I took away and then show my work? And so it really helps me as the teacher. It helps you your parent to understand what is it that you did? How did you get that answer? So slow down for a minute and think about each step that you did to take away. So this is the incrementing, taking away in the chunks. You guys see that I do keep track of what I take away by marking it off up here. So don't forget this step right here because it keeps you organized and helps you to not make mistakes. I also really want to quickly say, don't forget to check your work, like go back through and make sure that you didn't make a mistake. Remember, mistakes are good. Mistakes mean that we're trying, and it's okay if we make mistakes, but if we don't ever check for mistakes, we're never going to learn from them. And so don't forget to look back through because you may have just forgotten to take away one number, or you may have just forgotten to, or maybe you just made an error when you subtracted. And so that is okay. But I do love when you can go back and look and see, or parents check and check their work and maybe circle where they make that mistake so that they can learn from it and figure out what they did. All right, guys, great job on your math today. I'm excited for what kind of strategy you're gonna choose up here. Remember, maybe choose a couple strategies. Don't do it one way. Don't be stuck in one way. Try a variety of ways. Be flexible in your thinking. Push your brains as best as you can when you do your math. I hope that you guys all know that you're a Glen Duffy Lion. You are loved, you are imaginative, you are optimistic, you are needed, and most importantly, you are valued. Have a happy Tuesday.